Are your habits making menopause symptoms worse? I didn't realize mine were until I cut these out. Hi there, I'm Ileana, your midlife wellness and mindset coach. Here, we dive into all things mindset, wellness, and thriving after 50 so you can navigate midlife with confidence, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose. Let's get into it. Initially, I wanted to title this episode Stop These Three Things. But then I thought about it. At least for me, I don't want to be rigid and say I will never have or do something, especially when it comes to food. However, my intent is to be as proactive as I can with the decisions that I'm making to support this new stage of my life. Midlife and menopause. Menopause can make you feel like a stranger in your own body, exhausted, foggy, frustrated. I know because I'm experiencing that. But here's the truth, it doesn't have to stay that way. Having said that, in today's message, I want to share three things that I've limited during menopause that have made a big difference in how I feel. Plus, a bonus tip that completely shifted my mindset. So stay until the end so you don't miss that. I can say that these changes weren't overnight, but each has helped me move from feeling overly exhausted and foggy and achy to a much more energized, confident, and with more energy to do the things that I want to do and I need to do with more. I do have to add that these are not immediate and I'm not 100% free of menopause symptoms, but I wonder, does anybody ever feel as they did before entering menopause? What I can say is that I do feel much better and I have greater optimism. My hope is that by sharing my journey, you'll find a few things that can support you as well in your journey. The first thing I've done is limit to a great extent the overloading of caffeine and sugar, like corn syrup and processed sugars that were in some of my favorite creamers. They gave me a temporary energy, but then came the joint pain, the bloating, and that sugar crush feeling. My body just couldn't handle the spikes and dips anymore. It was like a roller coaster, and instead of helping me feel better, it was making my symptoms worse. I just felt lethargic and low energy. For years, I leaned on coffee with the sugar creamers to push me through the day, especially when my energy dipped. A cup of coffee here, a cup of coffee there, with some snacks here and there. I grew up drinking coffee and hot chocolate with fresh baked pastries daily ever since I can remember. So this is something that I really enjoyed more than the energy that it gave me. But I realized how much it was actually working against me during this time of my life. So when I started cutting back and swapping the sugary snacks for protein or healthier alternatives and replacing that extra coffee with the matcha tea, water, and vegetables and fresh juices, I have noticed a huge difference. My energy has become more steady throughout the day. My joints don't ache as much and I sleep much better and it's improved dramatically. During menopause, our bodies are more sensitive to stressors like caffeine and sugar. So by easing on them, it gives our body a chance to reset and feel more balanced. I still enjoy them in moderation, but I pay attention to how my body responds and I make choices that support my energy instead of draining it. The second thing is that I stopped pushing myself through exhaustion through an exercise. So instead of forcing myself through workout or any mental exhaustion, I started listening to my body and giving myself rest when needed. So for the longest time, I thought I had to power through fatigue by doing more, pushing harder, or over exercising with cardio. Instead of high intensity workouts that left me drained, I shifted to zone 2 cardio. What I've learned is that this type of training involves lower intensities, steady exercise, about 60 to 70% of your max heart rate, that helps your body burn fat for fuel instead of relying just on carbs. Not only does it support a healthy weight, but it also boosts my energy, eases the stress, and can even reduce aches and pains because you're not overexerting yourself. Plus, it strengthens our muscles and bones while keeping our metabolism flexible. It has been a game changer for my energy. And I don't feel the stress on my body from doing the intense cardio sessions. I now walk on my walking pad with a weighted vest and I do my spin bike on low intensity. I also stopped avoiding heavier weight because muscle loss during menopause is real and happens faster than we think. So now strength training is a non negotiable for me. It's part of my weight. So building muscle has not only helped with weight management, but also boosted my metabolism, my bone strength. I feel stronger and confident. I emphasize focusing on slow movement and good form with lower repetitions, and that works for me. But I do listen to my body. If I'm feeling sore or tired, I'll do something light, including stretching. Learning to balance movement with rest instead of constantly pushing through exhaustion has helped me feel stronger and more in control and not stressed. The third thing that I've stopped doing is over fasting. So for a while, I thought that fasting longer would help me control my weight. But during menopause, it was actually working against. Science shows that when we go too long without food, especially in midlife, cortisol or stress hormone rises. High cortisol not only makes it harder to lose belly fat, but it can also disrupt our sleep, increase cravings, and even affect our muscle health. I found out for me, I was not eating enough, and that was backfiring. I was gaining weight and losing muscle very fast. So instead, I now focus on balanced meals with protein, healthy fat, and fiber to keep my blood sugar steady. I fuel my energy and protect my muscle mass. I'm now focusing on shorter, mindful fasting windows like 12 to 14 hours that goes overnight. At least for now, this is an area that I continue to educate myself on. So here's the bonus tip. I stopped comparing myself to my younger self. This was huge. I had to accept that my body is changing, but that doesn't mean I can't feel good, confident, and strong now. This was huge for me. For the longest time, I caught myself looking back at old pictures or just remembering how much energy I had in my 30s, 40s. I would think, why don't I look like that anymore? Or why can't I bounce back as fast as I used to? But constantly comparing myself to my younger self only left me frustrated and discouraged. What I've come to realize is that my body isn't supposed to be the same. It's evolving, and that's okay. Menopause is a natural transition, not a failure or a loss of who I was. So I had to shift my mindset from chasing the old version of me to embracing who I am today. Menopause does not mean giving up on feeling good, confident, or strong. It's quite the opposite. It means celebrating or strength or wisdom and or resilience that we've gained. We may not have the exact body that we did in our 20s, 30s, but we can still feel amazing in the body that we have now. And honestly, there's so much freedom in letting go of the comparison and focusing instead of what supports me today, whether that's lifting weight, eating better, juicing, eating more vegetables, and simply giving ourselves grace. Friend, I hope you found this video helpful, and I invite you to watch the next video where I'll be sharing my menopause routine and go more into detail. So I don't want you to miss that. And let's continue to be fabulous and unstoppable together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content about living your best life. See you in the next video. Bye.